Today on Sports Comedy, Felix makes his first spring training start. Can the Mariners win both of their split squad games? We're going to talk a little World Baseball Classic, and the fans honestly think that the Houston Astros are going to finish and do better and possibly win the AL West better than the Mariners. Are they crazy? Also, Richard Sherman tears Skip Bayless a new one. The rumors go around saying Seahawks are planning on signing 3 huge veterans, and Mike gets into a Twitter war with Astros fans. All that and more on Sports Comedy Podcast. Good evening, everybody. This is Sports Comedy Podcast. Right now, we have a great show ahead of us. As always, we got my co-host, Mike. What's going on tonight, Mike?
What's going on? And tonight we have Austin with us, and we have another co-host with us. Say hello to Joe. Joe, how are you doing tonight?
Good. How about you?
Austin?
Yo.
So, Alex, like you said in the intro, the Mariners tried to win both split squad games. Unfortunately, they couldn't do it against the A's, but they did do it against the Royals, and they ruined the Royals' perfect record.
That's all I care about, man. That's all I care about. We got a lot of information going to get thrown your way, and we're going to try and do it as quickly as possible within these next 9 minutes. So, yes, let's get to the Kansas City game, and we don't need to worry about the Oakland game, but we'll see. No. Main thing is we knocked off Kansas City. They are not undefeated anymore.
Exactly. And the highly prospect out of Oregon State, Stefan Romero, I believe I'm saying that correctly, hit a grand salami today along with a 3-run shot and finished the game 4 for 5, 4 runs, and 7 RBIs.
Is this guy going to be on our team this year?
To tell you the truth, I think he's it's hard to say. It really is hard to say. He's a second baseman, so we've got Ackley for that. But we could use him right after Andino, who actually homered in the Oakland game.
I like Robert Andino. I think that guy's going to make a good player for us. I know. I've really liked what I'm seeing, and also, we don't need to go into much detail about this, but the Mariners winning streak, as you guys know, also was done yesterday as they lost to Milwaukee 7-6. We don't have to discuss that. We're here to discuss mainly today's games and mainly, most importantly, about the wins. Because, as Alex always says, it's only spring training. Although these guys may think otherwise.
Yeah. Let's go ahead with Joe. Joe, what do you think? What did you think about today's game, especially about both Stefan Romero and Casper Wells, who had 4 RBIs in today's game?
I'm thinking it's awesome that we broke the Royals' perfect record, and I feel like that all the players of last year are kind of struggling, so I think that they're going to do better this season.
Okay. Austin?
I think we're going to win the World Series this year.
There you go. That's what we always
now,
love to hear. Right, Alex?
Maybe next year. But Casper Wells, he struck out 3 times also, let's not forget.
He did, but you can't argue that he is going to be part of this team, because even though that he strikes out 3 times, he drove in 4 runs.
I know. And look, I hate to be the Debbie Downer of this show. I'm just being realistic here. You know, I mean, I tell you guys every night it's only spring training, in which you guys will argue. Yeah, it's good to see these numbers. I'm just stating the facts. I mean, I don't want to see Casper Wells strike out 3 times. Sure, he can bring in 4 RBIs, but that's like saying someone can strike out 3 times but hit a grand slam. You struck out 3 times. I don't care if you hit a grand slam or not. That's me. We can save this for another time, though. That's just me.
Yeah. And,
I just need to get that off my chest.
Yeah. And Austin, I'm sorry, actually. What's next on our... Richard Sherman today on ESPN First Take decided to make Skip Bayless look even more idiotic than he already is by ripping him a new one.
It was pretty damn funny, if you ask me.
It was. Austin, Joe, did you guys actually see those?
No.
No.
Oh, we actually have a video of him just completely dogging him. We will put it in the description below. Alex will put it in there. I will find it first. But basically, Richard Sherman was saying to Skip Bayless, basically, in my 2 years in the NFL, I have accomplished more than what you have in a whole lifetime.
Huh.
And then Skip Bayless, he has to come back and say, oh, then you're just a player who, is just known for his trash talk and not for his style. But, of course, Richard Sherman, he came back and he put out his stats in the last 2 years that he's had. And that's what impressed me more about Richard Sherman is he was able to maintain his composure and he was able to keep his point.
Mm-hmm. And, that's the thing. We live in Seattle where people are just starting to realize how good we are with the sports. I mean, they don't get it, but they are going to get it. Next year when Richard Sherman has no doubt the best year he's ever had, and when the Seahawks are in the Super Bowl, everyone's going to be like,
It doesn't matter if Richard Sherman's a trash talker. He's got a Super Bowl ring to prove.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
It's the best.
That's all you need to prove.
Speaking of the Seahawks, the rumor was now there were
Okay, I will be leaving for just 1 second. Mike, make this happen, buddy.
All right, I will. The rumor was the first two rumors were that I cannot remember his name, but Charles Woodson is seeking a meeting with the Seattle Seahawks, and John Abraham, a former Atlanta Falcon, it is confirmed. He has confirmed a meeting with the Seattle Seahawks. What would this mean for the team if we were to get both Charles Woodson and John Abraham at Austin?
I'm not that big in football, but I think we'd win a lot more games.
That's it. Joe, what do you think?
I used to pay attention to Seahawks, but I think, yeah, as Austin said, same. So.
I'm back.
Did you hear any of the?
Yes, and I think we would be Super Bowl material none the frickin' less. I think that is just amazing. Oh God, bring it. And now, look, are these guys getting old?
Yes.
Yeah, they're getting up there, and it's just like the Mariners aren't our group aren't like we're supposed to be this young elite stuff, because I don't want this old getting older stuff. I want this, new, young, fresh meat. Not saying that I wouldn't love these guys on the team. You just got to remember, they're getting up there in age, my friends.
Yeah, that is, and what John Abraham will also bring, if Chris Clemens, if I believe he is set to return to the Seahawks in time for the season, but that would also help the defensive line with another pass rusher, because we cannot just have one pass rusher. One pass rusher does not help you out. You need at least 2 or 3 pass rushers.
Yeah, and especially with us, what has our problem been the past many years as Seahawks fans? You can't sack the quarterback. Okay, Chris Clemens is great. Bruce Irvin is getting there. But once again, I hate to be the Debbie Downer in all this, but Chris Clemens and Bruce Irvin's good chunk of their sacks came from that Green Bay game, And
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
There's no problem in that.
Yeah, it's not.
Now, if the Seahawks were to get Charles Woodson, I think that he would probably go out for Brandon Browner's position, because to tell you the truth, in the last 2 games, the last 2 playoff games, and no excuses, the being out for 4 games, no excuses. He did not play like he was at his full potential. and I think that Charles Woodson will also, if they decide not to go with Brandon Browner and Charles Woodson, I think that would be amazing for the Seahawks.
Definitely, man. I know this offseason is going to be filled with a lot of good stuff.